Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the July 12th meeting of the Pequannock Township Council. Ms. Marsh.
In accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice, which was filed in the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building, published as a legal notice in the Suburban Trends newspaper, and distributed to all persons requesting notice in accordance with Township policy.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a prayer and a moment of thanks for individuals serving our nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Most gracious Providence, we ask that you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding, so that every deliberation will result in actions which will promote the common good and general welfare for all the people of Pequannock Township. Amen.
Amen. All right, will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Dreesy?
Present.
Mr. Hurd?
I am here.
Mr. Cole?
Here.
Mrs. Russell?
Here.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Here. All right, there's no presentation scheduled for this evening, so we're going to go right to reports from volunteers. Are there any reports or comments from any volunteers serving our community this evening? Nope. Okay. Next item is public comment. This public comment period will be limited to a total of 30 minutes. An additional period for public comment is reserved later in the meeting. Individuals are requested to limit their questions and comments to 3 minutes, and if anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized and come to the microphone and say your name and address for the record. Anyone?
I just saw a public come in. You don't want to comment?
You're just here to hang out, right?
We have the air conditioning.
Okay. All right, so since there's no public comments, we will continue on with the agenda, and we'll go to the manager's report. Mr. Brewer.
Thank you, Mayor. 4 quick items, most of which are covered on this evening's agenda for the council's consideration. As introduced at the last council meeting, we have a bond ordinance to provide for a water filtration system, which is a requirement and a have to, not something that we're electing to do, but in order to operate in compliance with the newly decreased maximum contaminant level, we do have the ordinance for the council's consideration and public hearing for public comment. We have an ordinance establishing the fee for the inspection of rental units for lead paint. This is something that dropped out of Trenton and is a requirement to provide services for rental property owners whose structures were built prior to 1978. And it requires an initial inspection by a certified lead paint inspector, and then an inspection every 3 years thereafter or at the change of tenancy. There are a number of different ways that this could be accomplished, including retaining of staff. We got a good group together to figure out the best way to approach this. Based upon a search of the MLS, we estimate there's approximately 100 of these units in the township of Paquanic. We solicited proposals from vendors that provide this service, picked a median amount, and established fees accordingly, so that and a necessary administrative fee as well as a DCA service fee, because there's a revenue that goes to the state for this.
Gee, I'm surprised.
Yeah, right.
People who own rental units for which this applies have the option of using the municipality. It will be managed through the manager's office in the township of Paquanic, or they have every right to retain someone independent of municipal government and do so through their own solicitation process and comply with this new requirement from Trenton. Next item is we have for the council's consideration a resolution authorizing the 2022 resurfacing program. Based upon the engineer's road surface report, they identified Robert Place, Edward Avenue, Peck Avenue, Prospect Avenue, and Banta Avenue for resurfacing. Those will be in addition to the work already planned and in progress for West Parkway and Mead Place. And lastly, I know there was a lot of discussion about it. We did receive the second tranche of ARPA funds in the amount of $783,182.46. There was some skepticism at one point.
In fact, I already spent it at the last budget meeting.
But we did in fact receive the cash, and the cash is on hand. Unless there's any questions, that is my report. Thank you.
Great. Great job. Anybody have questions?
Yeah, I do have a question. On this lead inspection thing, we have to inspect, and in 3 years we have to repeat. What is like lead paint all of a sudden going to pop up? They don't sell that anymore.
No, what they're inspecting for is chips. The danger of lead paint is in paint chips. And if you don't keep the paint chips from chipping, and if you maintain it, that's basically what you do.
Okay, that's what they're looking for. Okay.
So that's what they're looking for.
Right, and then we're going to allow them to get an outside firm, right? We're not mandating that they have to use our person.
We have gotten outside firms,
Right,
if they
in
want
case
to
they
look
don't
at us,
wanna-
yes,
okay.
and if
Right.
they want to save the
It's a nice
administrative
service.
fee, which we'll make them aware of, they're free to contract directly.
Okay, no, that's
Yeah, so
fine. I
we
just
actually
don't want
don't
to.
have to do anything.
No.
Right.
I have a
Yeah, I just
follow-up
don't want to
question
force
on
them
that.
But
into
it's a great
using our
service
person
to
to have somebody
provide.
else.
No, and we will make them aware of that option.
Yeah, but I'm sure the state has a certification, yada, yada, that
Yeah,
they got to hire.
which has been in place for a while. It just
Yeah.
hasn't been being utilized.
Right.
This is forcing people to use it.
Right. And then,
We might consult their lobby if we have any interest.
and then on the road resurfacing thing, is that just the road? Is that curbs and sidewalks and stuff like that too? There's just asphalt?
Asphalt milling and paving, some minor improvements, depending on how the prices come in.
Okay, because I walk down by the hospital and I see, there's sections of curb that are X'd out and sidewalk and aprons and all that kind of stuff.
West Parkway is different. The West Parkway is under construction. There will be curbs, inlets, and drainage, some drainage components with West
That was
Parkway.
grant money.
The other ones, that's a DOT grant
Why
project.
are we only doing a
That's a
small,
DOT grant.
that's a kind of a small piece of West Park.
Picking up on this stuff.
Phases.
4 years ago.
All right,
The lingo.
that's all I got.
Anybody else?
Quick question on lead-based paint. So at what point did the liability was originally on the contractor? When did that shift now to the township, that the township has to do the inspections and
No,
basically
we
take
don't
them?
do it.
We have no
We have
liability.
nothing.
The liability rests with the property owner.
The landlord.
We have an obligation to provide a process.
Yeah, I think the better word would be responsibility. And legislation just
Yeah.
several months ago put the responsibility on the town to be sure people are
So
doing it.
that's what changed, because
Right.
up until now, it's been the contractor. I have my EPA lead safe certification, and depending on how many square feet that we touch, there's certain processes we have to do, but now it's being backed up by the township,
So-
or is it only in the rental section?
It's only in the rental section. And you'll still have to do what you do
Right.
with that stuff. This is adding another dimension to lead paint inspections.
We're lucky they only did it on the rentals.
They wanted to do it on all resales originally.
And we don't have to contact people and be like, we know you have a rental, you have to do this. No. They're
We
gonna
we have an initial obligation to send things out to people we know. We have to do some notices,
Right.
but it's
Up to them.
what we know.
Right.
We don't have
But
to engage in it.
we don't really know.
It is the
Somebody's
world of
renting out their house,
enforcement.
We don't.
Right, it's just like the state smoke fire certification that they're responsible to do.
Right.
They now have to do this on a higher level.
Good question. Don't we get a CCO every time they switch rental people?
We don't have a continuing certificate of occupancy requirement.
No?
Only for resales.
Here's one more
A
question.
little bit of revenue.
I know, we talked about that a little bit too, how property owners are supposed to register when they rent out their units. We don't know how many are
Oh,
doing
there's so many that, I know one person that owns a ton of units and rents them out.
Is there a date specification? So
1978.
I know that's lead-based, but so anything older than 78 that is a rental,
Yeah.
that's what triggers it.
Correct.
Right.
Anything newer does not.
Right. So
And
by
then-
way of example, the Glens is newer than that. Otherwise, we would have many more units.
Right, so we would never have to inspect the glens.
Correct.
Okay.
We don't.
And it's-
we don't do anything. We say to them, we'll tell this company to go and there's a
Part of that
unit
is older,
fee.
probably.
Yeah,
Or you
There-
can
I
call this
believe there's a
company
section.
direct. We
Yeah.
are not doing the inspecting.
Why do we have anything to do with it?
Because Trenton told us we had to.
So basically, we have to say, hey, oh, by the way, John,
You
you
gotta
need
go.
to get that inspected. Have a nice day.
And we
Like
have a
literally,
process
that's
if they need
it.
it.
If they need it, we have.
What a waste of taxpayer funds. Thank you.
And where
No,
and
we're not losing any money on this.
no, and where we
It's-
see
It's a waste of resources.
Anyway,
we are in
It is what
we
it
would be
is.
in
We would be
compliance with the
compliant,
law
yes.
if the township council feels
Somebody
so
else told
inclined
us
to
we have
move
to do
forward with the
something.
ordinance as it's been drafted.
all right, everybody's good
Yep.
on all the comments? All right, next on the agenda is public hearing on ordinance number 2022-13. Ms. Marsh,
Ordinance number 2022-13 is a bond ordinance providing for the treatment of wells number 1 and number 2 and related improvements in and by the Township of Paquanic in the County of Morris, New Jersey, appropriating $4,750,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $4,750,000 in bonds or notes of the township to finance the cost thereof.
All right, we talked about this last time, but are there any comments from council on this?
Well, just one, is there a timeline for this? Like a timeline to get the bond, to get the drawings done, to get the work? So work's anticipated to start in
Work is
X months?
So as noted previously, the township is utilizing the iBank, which is the state of New Jersey's improvement authority, for lack of a better description. And by doing so, we hope to be eligible for forgiveness of principal at a maximum and at a minimum, lower interest rates and no interest rates on half. So based upon that, there's a pretty significant administrative process. We plan to be going to construction in 2023.
Okay. Just curious what the timeline is for these things.
Correct. We do have a well that is offline, and if the well were online, we would be mandated to perhaps move more quickly. But by taking that well offline, we've given ourselves an option to be a little bit more flexible and try to be a little more frugal.
All right, are we good? All right, is there a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to open public hearing on ordinance number 2022-13.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, if anyone in the audience has questions or comments on this ordinance, feel free to come to the microphone and identify yourself. No one? Okay. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. And I need a motion to adopt this ordinance.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2022-13.
I need a second.
Second.
All in, roll call.
Mr. Dreesy?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes. Okay, now we have ordinances for introduction, and there are two. Ms. Marsh.
Ordinance number 2022-14 is an ordinance authorizing the acquisition by eminent domain of an easement interest in certain real property located in the Township of Aquanic and required in connection with the Route 23 sanitary sewer improvement project.
Okay, Mr. Brewer, you have comments?
Thank you, Mayor. The township has been working over several years to acquire the necessary easements to install the Route 23 sewer project. With the identified properties, we have not been able to successfully acquire those easements. As the council may be aware from previous authorization of the appraisals that had to be undertaken, this ordinance is the final legislative action by the council to take those easements through condemnation.
What is the timeline for this? I mean, I guess this takes longer than if they would have just given it to us.
Yes.
Right.
We'll talk a little bit more in closed session. We have this on about questions about how the process works, but it will take 6 months to a year probably to have this completed.
Got it.
Any other comments from council?
Yes. I am not a fan of eminent domain. With that said,
Yeah, no, I mean,
just to clarify though, we're talking about passing through somebody's property under the ground with a sewer pipe. So it's not like we're trying to take a building, it's not like we're trying to take a portion and put our parking lot on it. We're literally just saying, hey, I need to cut through here underneath the ground, and you can still cut the grass on top and all that, correct?
Correct.
And thereby enhance the value and developability of the project.
Of that property as well as the adjacent property.
Correct.
Thank you.
All right, everyone's okay with that? All right, is there a motion to introduce this ordinance on the first reading?
I'll make that motion.
All right, Dave, I think got that?
I'll second.
All right, Kyle seconded it, and roll call, please.
Mr. Dreesy?
yes.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Right, and next on the agenda is the introduction of ordinance number 2022-15. Ms. Marsh.
Ordinance 2022-15 is an ordinance amending the code of the Township of Paquanic to provide for the administration of the requirement imposed by the state of New Jersey for lead-based paint inspections of certain residential rental dwellings and to establish fees for inspections.
All right, I think we said it all, but Mr. Brewer, any more comments?
Only if there's additional questions, Mayor.
Okay, everybody's good?
Well, just a question is, so it's $550 for every inspection?
Yes.
Wow. A lot of money.
Yes.
And then it's another $20 for the DCA?
Correct. And then if there are swipes that are required, there's a $35 cost per swipe.
But those numbers are in line with,
That's the median of the
yep,
quotes.
it's not like our number.
Sheesh, right? A lot of money.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
My question, the apartments behind Tavern 5, that's
And
the
place.
cost for every one of those apartments?
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Actually, there's probably enough of them that they have to get a ready and inspection from DCA. They've already probably been inspected for that.
That's
So,
true. It's not
yeah,
limited.
any large complexes already have to have a state license, and this has been part of the state license for some time, so it probably does not impact, this probably does not impact that.
If not for that, yes.
They'll probably get notified, and then they'll say, well, we're over.
Here you go.
That's one of the exceptions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Is there a motion to introduce this ordinance on first reading?
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance number 2022-15.
Have a second?
All second. I second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Dreesy?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd?
We're introducing it?
Yep.
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes. All right, and next on the agenda is resolutions, and I believe we have 6. Ms. Marsh?
4, 5, yep, 6. Beginning with Resolution R 2022-145, awarding a contract for a concession provider for food trucks on late Tuesdays, the second Tuesday of each month, to Michael Mincy, doing business as the Mutz God, in accordance with the request for proposals. Resolution R 2022-146, confirming the transfer of membership in the Pequannock Township Fire Department. That's for Julia Blayhoot. 2022-147, authorizing Tilcon New York Incorporated under the use of the Morris County Cooperative Processing Council for the 2022 annual road resurfacing improvements project in the amount of $260,000. R 2022-148, authorizing an amendment to a professional service agreement between the Township of Paquanic and Crew Engineers Incorporated to provide engineering services for the Route 23 sewer extension. 2022-149, authorizing tax office refunds, overpayments, or cancellations. And R 2022-150, approving payment of the itemized claims as set forth on the July 7th bill list and 2018 FEMA elevation escrow list.
All right, great, thank you. Any comments on the resolution by any council members?
I have a question, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Brian.
Just to clarify, the last three, I presume are typos?
Oh, yes, sorry about that, yes.
So the last
for the
one
public and
is,
online is corrected.
They're like placeholders.
so the FEMA one is R 2022-150, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, just a question on 148 with so Crew Engineering did work for us before,
Yep.
right? For other sewer work?
Correct, and they were authorized in 2017 through a professional services agreement to do the engineering for the Route 23 sewer project.
Okay, right. And I guess at that time we got other bids and they were the best and we went through the whole process then, I guess?
I don't know, I was not here.
Probably was not, it probably was not a bid process, because they're professional engineers. It probably was a quotation process.
Okay.
Then township manager would have used, or
right,
just
sure.
decided to use them
Because
because
it was a long time ago.
it was a long time ago.
And they've done a significant amount of work from
Already.
then and now in an effort to work with all the property owners to satisfy the negotiations over the easements that people did give us. So that's the reason for the addition to the professional services agreement.
Okay, and then this will take care of the rest of the sewer stuff we're ever doing out there? This is like the end of it, the last piece?
That is the plan.
For that.
What?
No, they're just for this.
For the 23 project, that is the plan.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
We all know it's not. We're gonna have to keep going down to 23.
That's the plan.
It
Okay, I'm
is for
good.
this piece. All right, any other comments or questions from any other council? No? Is there a motion to adopt these resolutions?
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution R 2022-145. I love the idea of Maz God through R 2022-150.
I'll second.
All right, and a roll call, please.
Maz God.
Mr. Dreesy?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mrs. Russell?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes. All right, we don't have any items for discussion this evening, but there was one under reports and notices. which was the certificate of determination and award for the note sale. Any comments or questions on that from anyone?
No. Annual sale of short-term debt.
Congratulations.
We're good on that?
We're good. I'm good.
Okay, with that being said, I think we can move on to council reports and announcements. So I will start with Councilman DeRisi.
Thank you, Mayor. First thing, ARPA money came in, yay.
Yay.
Always like the other people's money. Second thing, Foothills Park. I went and took a walk around there. I haven't been down there in a long time based on what we talked about last time. So it's looking really nice down there. Thank you. A little bit more. Walked up along 287. Haven't been up there in a long time. It was pretty neat. None of my committees met this time, but I know the All-Stars are on a roll. Mr. Hurd will, I'll elaborate more, and for the residents of Paquanic that don't like the Little League, I apologize, that is my opinion. And that's all, Mayor.
All right, thank you, John. Councilman Hurd, we'll move on to you.
Thank you, Mayor. First Aid Squad is still looking for people. We can use all the volunteers we can get on First Aid as well as everywhere else in town. Open Space did not meet, but I can see Frank back there, and he's very excited that the rail trail / bike path is actually getting worked on. He's literally jumping up and down. You can't see him because of the camera. Exactly. He is ecstatic.
Come on, Frank, go like this.
Good luck to Little League out there and our All-Stars. They are doing fabulous, both female and male, so I am so excited with them. And that's all I have this round.
It's a great time of year.
All right.
It is a great time.
One of the girls playing for the States this weekend, they're playing down in Bordentown.
Yes,
They're playing
and that's
in
for
Bordentown.
states.
Any
Yep.
businesses, when they go, there are 4 teams that meet. They go and they exchange bags from their local hometown. So they're saying anybody who has a business that has 40 tchotchkes,
Oh, right.
let them know. They put it in the bags,
That
and
just
then
reminded me, I got
they
that.
swap out with the other teams, give like a little taste of
That's
their
pretty cool.
hometown. It's kind of an interesting thing.
Good, all right. Mr. Cole, can you hear me? Go ahead, Dave, take it away.
Company one met on Friday, July 1st, believe it or not, the Friday before 4th of July, but they did meet. Just a lot of improvements at the firehouse that they're doing themselves. New floor is going in the hallway in the meeting room, power washing. They want to try to fence in the dumpsters in the back. That's still up in the air if they're going to do that, because the quote that they got to do that was kind of high. They're just trying to make it look a little nicer back there, but that's the only committee that met for me was Company One. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dave. And Councilwoman Russell.
Yes, same thing. I didn't have a lot of meetings. Environmental will be meeting tomorrow. The library concert is this Friday, July 15th. The Arlo Guthrie Band will be playing for approximately an hour and a half. I know Melissa's going to read the proclamation, so come out, bring a lawn chair, enjoy.
Is she
And they
also
were
going to
giving-
sing with Arthro?
What?
Is she going to sing
No,
with
you
the
don't
band?
want, you do not want to hear my singing voice.
She may dance, though.
Yeah.
I was sad I missed the tours to the Morton Berry House. Did you guys go? I know you
It
went.
was awesome. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Awesome.
I forgot.
Yeah, so
Mayor, you can have that one.
I feel bad I missed. I'm going to try to make it work. It's just been too crazy, but that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. A couple of things. As I might have mentioned this a couple of months ago, but if I did not, our Assemblyman, Brian Bergen, had reached out to Paquanic about our interest in hosting a New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission event in Paquanic for one day. And of course, we said yes. And this event's going to be in September. It's going to be September 15th from 9 to 3. There's going to be what's called a mobile motor vehicle unit, which kind of looks like a bus, and it'll be coming to Paquanic for the day. The event will be at PV Park. The commission will take the appointments, though, in advance of that day on an array of services.
Will they be doing
So-
real IDs?
Yeah, so the real demand is for the real ID driver licenses with the star on it. You know, that is the big upgrade to the driver's license, and if you don't know about it, it's required to fly domestically and to go into federal buildings, and there's a 9-point system to that. You have to confirm your address, so where you live. 1 is your social security number, and then there's 6 points for identification. So anyway, so we're grateful for the opportunity to offer the service from the state to the township residents and the whole area. It's not just for Paquanic, it's for surrounding areas as well, for our region. So,
Montville just had one. I thought it was just for Montville. Though.
was it? I don't know. I know Montville's having one, they haven't had it yet.
They had it, I thought. Well, maybe all the appointments filled up.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
yeah.
what it is.
So look for the flyers and the social media posts. They'll be going out shortly. And it'll have detailed information on what services will be available that day and how to set up your appointment in advance. What else? I had the privilege of performing a wedding ceremony this past weekend for a young couple, Paquanic resident Michael Murphy and his fiancée Frida Salazar. So congratulations to both Michael and Frida. Can I talk about the Fund Committee?
Sure.
This morning, there was a kickoff event for the Fund Committee at Town Hall and DPW. The event was a kickoff really for employees and volunteers on boards and committees to get involved in some social events and camaraderie. Don't worry if you missed it, there's going to be more to come, and we'll make sure the communication gets out. There was some emails that went around to the committees, but I can tell by looking at some of you didn't get it. And tomorrow's story, well, it kind of went out, I think, from the health department, and then I think,
Tom sent that out.
yeah, and I think.
He's the chairman of the Fund Committee.
Right.
I didn't get one.
He's the chairman of Fund.
So what we'll do is make sure that maybe through Carol's office, I mean, you know, if possible, we'll at least get it to the chairs of the committee who can get it out. I noticed that some went out to some of my committees, but they went out like yesterday, so they were a little late from the chairs. Tomorrow starts Walking Wednesdays. I guess that's from 10 to 11 around Woodland Lake every week, I guess, for the rest of the summer for an hour. You can come and join the walk around Woodland Lake. As Kyle mentioned, this Friday at 6:30, Friends of the Library will be hosting a lawn concert on the front lawn of the library. I'm assuming it's on the front lawn, unless it's in the back. Is it the front?
It's on the side yard.
On the side yard. And the library will be also celebrating 25 years at this location. So for council people, whoever can go, please come. Also, I noticed the library is collecting, they have a survey on their website, so I guess they're doing strategic planning, so they're...
Yeah, they hired a company to do strategic planning for them.
So they're asking residents if you have something to add as far as value. There is a survey on their site, so please go there. It only takes 5
The thing with
minutes.
that site is you have to click off, and like it says, pick 3, but if you only believe in 2, you can't keep going. They make you pick a 3rd, even if you think the rest of those ideas are absolutely
So just put them in order of your priority.
No, you just gotta click the buttons, it's not in order.
Okay.
So,
All right. What else? As was mentioned, I went to, I believe, Ryan did too.
Yes.
There was some tours given at the Martin Berry House for the council, and it was amazing because I hadn't been there in quite a while, and the work that they've done so far is just unbelievable, and I can't wait until the day when we can open this up to the public, not only for tours, but for meeting spaces, and, you know, there's a lot of ideas going around of how we can use it in the future for the residents, for various events, so it's just amazing what they're doing there. What else? And then the only other thing I wanted to bring up, plus none of my boards or committees met, but I believe the flood committee is supposed to meet on Thursday of this week, and economic development will be meeting the last Wednesday of the month, or the 4th Wednesday of the month. And there's more to come on that. I know Peter's been working on a project. Ryan sat with Peter I sat with Peter about some ideas, but he has to bring it to the committee first, and then once they approve it, they're going to ask for council input and our thoughts on adding some stuff to their spreadsheet per se, and then come up with a process. So, but we can't do anything with that yet until that goes through the committee. All right. What else? The only other thing I wanted to bring up was vacancies on boards and committees. I know a while ago we talked about, and probably before John was on council, we talked about if there were vacancies halfway through the year, and there were people that wanted to join committees, why wait until January? So I know Carol, probably a month ago now, or a couple weeks ago, sent out an update to the committee list as well as applications. I know we can't do anything tonight, but there's no reason, in my mind, and I want everybody else's input, if there is a vacancy and there are boards and committees that are meeting, and they want to fill those vacancies, or you guys want to put that on the agenda for next time. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we should just wait till January at this point, because, most of them don't meet for the summer, and then it's
A lot of them
August,
don't.
it's September, and they don't meet in December. So I would just wait, and I think we have to do a better job of getting people out to put their stuff in before January.
Yeah, no, we do need to do
Because
that.
when
but-
we start doing this halfway through here, halfway through there, they sent it there, well, I sent mine in January, so I would just say, let's hold off on it this year and get more people in January.
I mean, the only thing I can do, the main one I know, there was, we're trying to do a kickoff on the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee because they weren't meeting, but I told everybody, if we don't do official appointments, they can still come to the meeting.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what everybody else's thoughts were. Do you not want to do appointments?
I think we have
for
to
the
have
rest
a
of this
firm
year?
process.
I agree with Kyle.
Okay.
And it's not January that we need. We need people to start putting in their applications in
Earlier.
the end of October and November, because we appoint at the end of December.
Right.
Right.
So moving forward, we do not want to allow 2 times a year. We just want to do it 1 time a year in January.
I leave it the way it is. Possibility of appointing 2 times a year, but right now I think that, we should just let it go.
Yeah, I agree. As far as 2 times this year, I think it's way too late. As far as
Yeah, we
if we
should've
want to
done
do
it
it in
June.
we should have, we have to clarify the process. So in other words, everybody would have to have their paperwork in if they want to be appointed in January. They have to have their paperwork in by December 15th. Anything from December 16th through whatever, pick a date, then we would appoint, June.
Right.
It's way too late now, because by the time we go through everything, it's already July, it's not going to be until August, maybe September is when we would actually
Right,
appoint.
they might have 2 meetings
Right.
in the fall, and
Right.
that's about it. I
Yeah.
thought about that after I made, poor Carol jumped through. It's probably going to make your process easier, because it's true, during the year, different people are coming at different times thinking we're going to appoint, and then you have to kind of get everything all together. John, you agree with it too? You just want to, if
I
everybody...
also took that if we need someone, like on the planning board or the zoning
Really?
board, something that we need a quorum for, we shouldn't have to wait until June
That's a
to
good
appoint
point.
them. So if someone leaves in March and we have someone that's interested to fill the spot, we should be able to appoint that person immediately.
So only on certain boards if it's needed.
Yeah, boards that are state statute that you have to have a certain number of people to vote,
Yeah.
like planning board and zoning board.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine
I
with
think that's
that.
what we do now.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what we do now.
Pretty much. Yeah. No, I had a couple of people come to me.
Yeah,
and that's
because
why
I know like
thought
the
about
senior
that.
advisory, we didn't have anybody asked to go on that in January. So if they decide they want to come on it in September,
Yeah.
I would say, okay, put it in now, we'll put you on in January.
Yeah.
But there's no reason that they can't start meeting now.
Well,
Right, they
that's
can
what I
still
told them when I went to the last
Now, are they
meeting.
combining with Disc 55, or what are they doing? There was a whole big thing with
There was
that.
always been a
There was
question about
just
that.
some comments about that. So what we're going to do is keep it separate for now, and we're going to try to get a meeting in July or August because they want to meet. And I'll just tell the people that have put applications in that they can come to the meeting, but we're not doing appointments till January. When I met with them last, I told them I believed we were going to do appointments, but we didn't bring it up last time, and now we're in July, and if I can't get 3 of you to want to do it now, I'll just run with it the way it is. I'll tell the people they can come to the meeting, because that's really the only committee that's pushing for
Right, I think we just wait, they're
volunteers.
fine. And then they can get them next year, and then they'll be set to go.
Okay. All right. Well, just wanted to bring it up. I said I would. Everybody's good with that?
Good.
Okay. Oh, forgot. All right, next on the agenda is public comment. If anyone would like to come to the podium and address the council. Anyone?
Uh-oh, here
You
they
got
come.
2. Here comes Frank
Now watch
first.
it.
I just want to drag the meeting out a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks, Frank.
Frank Spaderi, 35 West Franklin Avenue. Can you repeat what you said about Woodland Park? You're going to have people that are going to be taking them around Woodland Park?
Well, it's not, it's just, oh, go ahead.
No, so the fund committee, almost in conjunction with the wellness component of the township, there's going to be walking Wednesdays. So from 11 to 12, good weather, groups are going to get together and just walk around what's a beautiful park.
Do we have permission from the people that own the properties?
We're going to be walking around Woodland Park.
Do we have permission from the people that own the Shopmire properties?
I'll have to look into that.
Because they'll be trespassing. And I've said this before, that even the people that do it now are trespassing. But nobody seems
They have
to care
signs
about
up
that.
that say no
They're not
trespassing?
they're only trespassing if there's signs that say no trespassing.
Yeah, there's no sign.
That hasn't been,
That is a fire road.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Spaderi.
Now watch what these signs.
Hey, Jason.
Hey guys, Jason Peller, 6 Ashland Court. I also want to drag the meeting out a little bit, so I can stay away from my kids for a
Thanks,
little while.
Jason.
I was gonna say.
So that's the
I
key.
knew that's what
That's
you were
the key.
gonna-
I get away
saw
for a
him
little
running.
bit.
I'm like, what are you 2 doing without your
Yeah.
kids?
It's been a long day. No, I actually just wanted to come out and just say that I appreciate all the work that you guys have been doing. I know some of the meetings get a little contentious, a little, difficult, but you guys really always with decorum, always doing a good job, and, you guys really care for the town. You guys have been doing a great job. I just want to express that. It's a little quieter tonight, so I figured it'd be a good time to... I'm sorry?
You don't want to yell at us?
I mean, I can, but no.
Bring it on.
Stay in your lane.
No, I'm good. I spend all day yelling at my kids, so, it's nice to come out and just be able to, see something well-run, and just, I appreciate the work that you guys do. So, God bless you all, and keep doing a good job. Thank you very
That's a
much.
lot. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
sir.
much.
Thank
Like a
you.
well-oiled machine, right?
Right.
Thank you. No one else? Peter, you're good? Okay. We also have minutes to approve. So next on the agenda is minutes for approval. If everyone got them, we have June 14th and June 28th. Any comments on those minutes? And if not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, next on the agenda, we do have a closed session discussion. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 2022-151, authorizing council to meet in executive session to discuss matters of attorney-client privilege?
I'll make that motion.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, at this time, portion of the we're recessed for the closed session.